Hello, I'm Tactical Pascal. Welcome to the channel. I hope this finds you all safe and well. This video is on the startup in the UH-1H Huey in DCS world. Okay, here we are in the cockpit of the Huey. I'll try not to say basic about a million times this time. So, let's start with the cruise status indicator on the bottom right. I don't want it on, so I'm going to press right control and enter. No, I'm not. I'm going to press left Windows and H, and then right control and enter gets rid of the controls at the top left. So, first things first, close the door by clicking on the handle. Now, there's a few things you need to bind in the Huey before we begin, so I'm going to press escape and go to adjust controls. I want to bind a button that is startup engine. I also want to bind a button that is pilot trimmer, and then I want to bind trimmer reset. Those three buttons shall do you well. Now, looking around the cockpit, we have our cyclic and our collective. We're going to be using this throttle to increase in a second, but I'll go through that after the startup. Button you want to pay attention to its location is the low RPM audio warning, because that's going to start blaring in your ear, and it's nice to know where it is so you can shut it off really quickly. So, to begin, look up, put our AC power to AC phase, turn the inverter to on main, put the main generator on, close the cover. Then we want the voltmeter to ESS bus, and when we switch the battery on button, that audio warning is going to sound. There it is, so we're going to turn it off. Next up, we turn on our fuel pump. We can turn on the engine de-ice, it depends where you are. We're in Nevada, we don't need it on, however, that's where it is if you need to turn it on. Next up, we have the hydronic controls button. And then we have our force trim, we turn on IFF. It doesn't actually work in the Huey, but it means that we're not going to get a warning light for it. Now, before we spool everything up, we're going to rotate, left click and drag on the throttle, and then bring it down a little bit. And then we're going to press and hold our starter button until the rotor RPM goes past 30. So hold the button in now, you can see the voltmeter moved there. And then we're waiting on this rolling round. If you look up, the blades will start to turn. Big Dave sat next to me, he's just waiting. Our RPM warning limit light is on, and our master caution is on. Watching the torque, watching the gas producer, and the exhaust is too hot, and that'll come back down. We can roll the throttle off and that'll be even less hot, so we won't get a flame out. So the shaking of the aircraft is natural, it happens every time those big massive blades spin. RPM's over 30, so I can come off the starter button, and then I'm going to rotate my throttle all the way up. All the warning lights have gone out. The RPM warning is still on because the engine RPM hasn't spooled up to where it needs to be in the green. Still got the master caution on. All we need to do to get rid of that is right click on the test reset button. Next up, radios. Your nav radio, right click once to turn it on. Your VHF radio, right click once, turns it on. UHF radio, right click to transmit receive. You can tune the frequencies by scrolling along the various buttons. And then we want to turn on our FM radio. Again, set to 30. You can click and rotate the buttons. If you want to arm your chaff and flares, that button is the center console. Now, looking up and to the left, we have our radar altimeter all the way there at the back. Turn that on, and then this here is the radar altimeter. We're just going to roll that button until we see the 0. That's as set. Only thing we need to do now is look at our compass. So there it's about, what, 165, maybe 167 on that bearing. So we're going to get our compass, and we're going to roll it round so it matches what we've got on the other compass. So passing at 170, so setting about there. So that's the same. That's the Huey started up. All you need to do now, let me put my controls indicator back up and adjust my joystick so it doesn't hit me in the crotch. Sorry about that. All we need to do is pull back a little bit to the left, get rid of the little bit left rudder, and then we're going to slowly bring the throttle or the collective up. Bit more left rudder, and that's us airborne the Huey. And then you can head off into the wild blue yonder and practice your cool, mad helicopter flying skills. That's it. That's the startup in the UH-1H. It's very simple, very easy to do. I'll cover landing and all the other different things like navigation in another video. If you want to find out more about flying the Huey or any other module in DCS World, then come and join us over at the Tactical DCS Discord. We've also got our website. I'll link both of those in the description below. The training there is free. It always will be. There's people there ready to help you out and get you up in your module of choice and flying and having fun. Until the next time, Tactical Pascale, out!